Oxford, the city of dreaming spires, the perfect place to delve into history and to enjoy some carol singing.
No, not that kind of carol. There isn't a shepherd, wise man or baby in sight. I've come here to rediscover the lost tradition of carols for Easter.
Carols are actually songs of celebration dating back to medieval times, and some were written specifically for Easter. I've come to Oxford's famous Bodleian Library to meet historian Dr. Eleanor Parker to find out more.
Eleanor, when I think of carols, I think of a little town of Bethlehem away in a manger. I think of Christmas, but originally carols weren't just for Christmas, you're saying, right?
Yeah, that's right. Carols can be sung all year round. And in the Middle Ages, people would sing carols on any occasion where they got together to celebrate something.
But if carols aren't Christmas songs, what is a carol?
Well, originally the word would refer to dancing, so it comes from the idea of dancing in a ring, and the songs that people sang as they danced would be called carols.
And what form did they take? What were they like?
Well, we actually have an example, and I can show you one right now.
Oh, wow, yes, please.
So what we've got here is a medieval Latin song.
What's it about?
Well, it's really about the season of spring, and it talks about how in spring things get warmer, the birds start to sing, the flowers reappear on the earth, and it talks about all these things as a reflection of the creative power of God.
So why did people stop singing them? Why did Easter carols go out of fashion?
Well, one of the reasons is that the main occasions for singing them just kind of died out as society changed. But another one might be that carols could sometimes be a bit subversive because they could be sung by anyone. Yeah. Authorities didn't always like people singing carols and tried to sort of stamp it out.
So were there protest carols?
There were political or satirical carols, yeah, making fun of the rich or criticising social inequality, for instance. But they did keep being sung for quite a long time in folk tradition, even as late as the 19th or early 20th century.
To hear what our Easter carol sounds like in its original Latin, we've invited young musicians who specialise in early music to the majestic hall of New College.
Eleanor, how does it feel to hear this music in this place?
It's really lovely. I mean, this is just the kind of place where carols would have been sung in medieval Oxford, so really, really nice to hear it.
Now I've got the English lyrics, I can really see what you were saying about them speaking about spring and what it's like, and then speaking about God and weaving it all in. Is this quite typical of the way that people used to write in this period?
Yeah, medieval poets really loved writing about the spring, and they liked seeing the signs of God in the natural world. And of course the new life that comes with the resurrection of Christ at Easter is reflected in the new life that we see in the signs of the world around us.
And now a French traditional carol which is perfectly suited for springtime and the resurrection. Well, I love carols, so it's nice to think we're allowed to sing them twice a year. And singing is right at the heart of our Gospel Choir of the Year competition. So if your choir is thinking of entering, do it now, because this year's competition closes on the 1st of May. You can get all the details and the terms and conditions that you need on our website. That's bbc.co.uk/songs of praise. And just to whet your appetite, here's a performance from one of last year's finalists.
Why do you cry? He has risen. Why are you weeping? He's not dead. He paid it all on that lonely highway, and his anointing I can feel. He shed his blood for my transgression, and by his stripes we are healed. So as you go, rise, don't you worry, lift up your head, don't you cry, stop your weeping, he has risen, he's not dead. Oh, don't cry, wipe your eyes, he's not dead. Oh,
This week's attacks in Brussels have been a stark reminder of the long shadow of terrorism that exists in our world today. Fortunately, such attacks are not part of our daily lives, but the same is not true for many Syrians who are desperate to escape violence and flee the country. But there is one Syrian Christian who has been visiting Britain with no wish to stay here. He feels that his ministry is to be alongside those who are caught in the midst of the conflict. Josie has been to the New Life Centre in North Allerton in North Yorkshire to meet him.
There's very little good news coming out of Syria at the moment, but for some people there suffering the ravages of war, hope and comfort come in the form of Pastor Edward Awabde. He's in the UK to meet the Christian charity that helps support him.
We never thought that Syria will plunge into such depths of darkness and killing.
Of course, Damascus is a city that plays a big part in the Bible. What is the climate like there for Christians at the moment?
The risk they go through is a risk on everybody who lives in Damascus. Everything you rely on, you just lost. Everything was priority in your life, you found out that it's lost its value completely. We go through some risky days with random shelling from around Damascus. And that's very scary because you cannot guess where this bomb will fall on.